Now that I've showed you the supplies, let's do a quick run through on how the screen printing process actually works. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a computer file, and it needs to be black and white. To keep this demonstration simple, we'll just use a one-color design. So I've got this design with an old Ford Bronco, and what we do is we print that out onto a transparency that looks like this, and that's just out of the inkjet printer. And the reason we need to do this is our photo emulsion is light sensitive, so the black areas are going to block out the light when we expose the screen. Now let me show you how we set up the screen. First of all, we take our blank screen and then we coat it with liquid emulsion. So you want to get a nice even coverage on your screen. And then once you have that done, take it into the darkroom and just let it dry for 20-30 minutes. You could let it dry overnight if you want. So when we get ready to expose the screen, what we do is in our darkroom with the bug light on, we set up our screen kind of like this with the transparency over it. And then once that's all positioned correctly, we turn on our exposure light. So in this case, with the light I have, it took about 15 minutes to expose the screen. The areas of your emulsion that are exposed to the light become hardened, and the area of your design blocked out by the black part of the film are left unhardened. So you're able to wash out that area with a hose that has high pressure water. And what that leaves you with is an area where there's open areas and there's closed areas. So this is how we're going to do our screen printing, because we take the ink with a squeegee and push it through onto the shirt, and that's basically how it works. It's really simple. So let's get the t-shirt set up and we're ready to screen print. Now in a screen printing shop, you'll have a multiple station press. So it might be a 4-color press or an 8-color press, and that's for printing multiple colors on a t-shirt. But if you're screen printing at home, all you really need to get started is just one screen. We've got our 100% cotton t-shirt, and let's see how it goes. And you want to be really careful with your placement, because once you pull the squeegee over, the ink's there, you can't reposition it. Now we're ready to do our screen print. You'll notice I've got some Plastisol ink on here. So since this screen hasn't been flooded yet, we need to pull the ink across. Okay, now we're talking. Let's push it back to reflood it. And then I'm just going to give it one more pass just to make sure that ink got everywhere. Okay, let's see how this thing looks. Yeah, that looks really good. The next thing we need to do is let this air dry, but the ink won't actually set until we heat it. So if you're doing this at home, you can just use an iron, put a piece of paper over it and iron it, and that'll set the ink. In a commercial shop, they have either a dryer, which is a conveyor belt, and you put the t-shirt in there and it heats up as it goes through. Or they may use what's called a flash unit to cure the ink on the press.